All right, after taking a look at 10 amateur fights, it is our first foray into professional fighting here tonight at Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 14. Taking a look now at Robert Walker III. Hey, Gerald, you know something about being a third. I'm only a junior, so I'm only a second generation name there. Robert Walker is a third as well. How do you earn the third? Why aren't you a junior as well?
So my grandfather and my great-grandfather were both named Gerald.
Okay, all right.
So it could be the grandfather and father, but in my case, it was my grandfather and great-grandfather.
I see.
And, you know, third time's a charm.
Exactly. No doubt. As we take a look at Robert Walker, he hopes to feel that way 5-5 in his professional career. This guy's kind of interesting, and we're going to talk about it as you look at the tail of the tape. He's got a height advantage. He has also only been out of the first round once in his career. Looks for quick finishes or he gets finished quickly. He is known as the Sandman. That is Robert Walker. All right, let's take a look now at one of my favorite fighters, at least recently, Gonzalo Ponce.
Next up, his opponent, Gonzalo Ponce.
Here comes Gonzalo Ponce. This guy is a character, to say the least. He is a different dude. Kind of fights to the beat of his own drum, lives his life that way too. Here is a guy as well with congenital hypothyroidism. And so usually guys like that have problems cutting weight. They easily put weight on. He has not had that problem at all. Like I said, it's because he's a different kind of guy. Gonzalo was on the sports news just about a week ago, and I instantly fell in love with this guy. He's given up a couple inches in the ring, but he is not going to give up any heart in this fight tonight. Ponce and Walker right here, right now. The first of three professional fights. Let's send it up to the cage and Chris Garrity.
Fighting out of the Coliseum Bar, red corner. He represents Walker Mixed Martial Arts and hails from Dayton, Ohio. In 10 professional bouts, he has 5 victories. He weighed in at 124 pounds. Please welcome Robert Walker. His opponent, this man, fighting out of the Harley-Davidson of Madison, blue corner. He represents Felipe Barbosa, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, and hails from Baraboo, Wisconsin. In 5 professional bouts, this man has 3 victories. He weighed in at 121 ready pounds. Please welcome Gonzalo Gremlin Ponce.
Ponce is not a stranger to this cage, although it has been a while. The last time that he appeared here was way back in Chosen Few Fighting Championships number 5. That was just about 3 years ago. Now he makes his return looking for his 4th professional win. And it was really interesting. He expects Walker to be coming right at him, and then he said he's got a 95% chance to win if that's the case, because he expects Walker to come at his legs, and he thinks that plays to his strength. So far, Walker has not done that, probably to Ponce's surprise, but Ponce right in right now. He considers himself a jiu-jitsu specialist as he tries to take Walker down.
So far, Walker did a pretty good job keeping the distance and defending that first takedown, but now we see Ponce in. He's got a little body lock, got the leg wrapped up, and content to pull him down on top of him where he's comfortable on the mat. I'm assuming he's going to work a submission from the guard, being a jiu-jitsu specialist.
I was amazed at how likable I found Ponce to be, and also at his confidence. He seems supremely confident going into this fight for a guy with a record of 3-2 going up against a guy who's got a lot of experience in Robert Walker.
See right here, Walker's on top. He's kind of stifling his own strikes, but still in control. Ponce on the bottom there, he's got his feet in the right spot, but he needs to start getting a little more active with his guard. And there we see him climbing his legs up, looking to try and lock an arm down, try to get a submission. But right now we've got kind of a stalemate position as Ponce not trying to give up too much space, landing some elbow strikes here from the bottom, perhaps open up some space, and Walker just kind of grinding on top.
Yeah, as I had mentioned, Walker has never been, only actually one time, out of the first round in his career. In 10 professional fights, has only made it to the second round one time. And so Ponce actually told me he doesn't think that this fight is going to get to a second round. He expects to use the aggressiveness of Walker against him to get a submission win here in the first round.
Yeah, Ponce right here looking for that triangle, and he passed the arm. He's got a nice lock. Still not close to finishing yet. He's got everything in the right spot. There he is, pulling that head down. He's got to get that lock just a little bit deeper. Walker trying to posture up and get that head out, but it's getting tighter and tighter in there. Ponce doing good to land some strikes with this lock. Just needs to angle his body a little bit more to his left. Just slowly cinching it up.
Last time that Ponce won was back in 2016. It was with a triangle finish. Now he's using the elbows and really doing damage to the head of Robert Walker. Ponce on his back but in control. Now Walker firing back with a couple hammer throws of his own.
Right here, Ponce's got this nice tight triangle. I'd say pull the head down, try to finish the submission, get that choke while you got the position. Walker doing everything he can to try to circle and get some space in there, landing some strikes.
Walker trying to get out of it now. His head, though, dipping further and further down with that triangle as Ponce has it locked in pretty good on Walker.
Yeah, he's got the position secure for sure. I'd sell out and go two hands on the head and look for that squeeze if I'm in Ponce's position. He's got him dead to rights. Why worry about striking when you can finish the fight right here? He's got his lock on that triangle, is loosening up a little bit. His leg is getting closer and closer to the toes. He really wants that leg that's on top to lock closer to the shin bone to really tighten that triangle up.
Wow, continues to strike, though, so he hasn't gone for the finish, but instead he will finish it with a bevy of strikes. Gonzalo Ponce told me before the fight it would not last one round. He would use Walker's aggressiveness against him, and he called it exactly. You gotta like a guy that knew how this fight was gonna go. And he went ahead and finished it off. Gonzalo Ponce with the victory as we take a look at the replay action here in the first and only round, as Ponce had that triangle lock in for most of the first round and now finishes off the fight by just striking the head of Robert Walker.
Right, TKO from the triangle. It wasn't a lot of big damage, but the rule is intelligent defense.
Absolutely. Ponce, a first round TKO. Let's see his arm raised and get the official call from Chris Garrity up in the cage right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end of this bout comes at 3 minutes 43 seconds of round number one for your winner by TKO, Gonzalo Ponce.
Ponce a winner tonight, just like he expected the fight to go. He improves to 4-2 in his return to the Chosen Few Fighting Championships. 2 big professional fights to go. Don't go anywhere. You are locked in to CFFC 14 on 57 Sports.
Gonzalo Ponce defeats Robert Walker III. TKO, your first of your career. So what did you learn in a fight like that tonight?
I learned that anything can happen, and if I really, really want to do something, I can do it. I've been putting a lot of work in trying to get that TKO for like 4 years now.
Yeah, and it kind of started in like in a choke, and all of your opponent's submission, all of his losses have come by submission at that point. So I don't know if that like something you came into when you were researching your opponent to look into and say, well, I want to win by submission, or is that just more your style? It just happened to work out that way.
Well, there's not many videos out here on him to fight, so I couldn't watch very much. So I started looking at his record and I started doing the math of it. All his fights ended between the first and third minute, respectively. So I was like, all right, this guy's going to shoot on me. But this time I tried to shoot on him and I messed up. Yeah. So it ended up working out for me either way. And I didn't really have an idea what I wanted to do, except that I knew my self-defense that I've been training was going to pay off. It always does.
Yeah, and I did a little scouting on you, and it was looking like the go-go choke is one of your moves that people look for, but sometimes they just don't see it coming. So explain a little bit, because we didn't see it tonight, but what is the go-go choke?
So just think of a guillotine that instead of using the forearm like most people do and wrench up on the throat, I'm going to take my hand on the chin like I'm holding a football, and I'm going to bring the other one in. I'm going to hit the top of the throat right through here, and I'm going to carve it out as painfully as I can. And the best part about it is most people think they can get out because the head sits right here instead of my arm being around the neck. So I'm right there. They feel like they can get out, and in reality, they're just making it worse and more painful.
Well, that's very rude of you, but congratulations on the win anyway. And we look to seeing more of you. If you're going to be around Madison, stop by for more Chosen Few.
Will do.
All right. Well, that is Gonzalo Ponce, and we will have more Chosen Few fighting after this.